What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Fresh Review. If you're new to the channel, what we do here, we make a WWE video every Wednesday and we review each and every WWE PLE. So, in the background, what I have is 20 men that all could be on this list. If you guys clicked on the video, you guys saw the title. This is my WWE Mount Rushmore list. Now, what you see for most people on the Mount Rushmore is they all have the same Mount Rushmore. They get the biggest stars and then they put them on their Mount Rushmore. And that's fair, right? Do your Mount Rushmore how you want to do your Mount Rushmore. I'm doing my Mount Rushmore how I want to do mine. It's not going to be my 4 favorite people or anything like that. But I wanted to get 4 people that all represent a different thing of WWE. So we're going to start with our first topic, and that is the biggest star. So I do agree that the biggest star in WWE should be on the Mount Rushmore. And when you think of the biggest star in WWE, you got to think of different eras, right? And who are the biggest stars at each era? If we go back in the 80s, it was without a doubt Hulk Hogan. Hulkamania was running wild. Now, if we go to the 90s, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then you can even argue The Rock, right? Those were without doubt the 2 biggest stars. I think Stone Cold will have the slight edge over The Rock, but The Rock was just as popular, just as over. Actually, I don't know if I actually like The Rock more than Stone Cold. It's very close. I love both those guys. Didn't really care too much for Hogan ever, but Rock and Stone Cold loved them so much. I even go back and rewatch a lot of their matches, and I see clips of them, and they still make me laugh to this day. Now, going into the 2000s, we're looking at John Cena, the biggest star. I know he just turned heel. You guys haven't seen. I did a WWE Elimination Chamber review. You guys can always check that out. But he just turned heel, but those to me are the 4 biggest stars. No disrespect to Cody and Roman Reigns that are currently stars, or anybody that came before Hogan or anything right now. I don't think they're on the level of those big 4. So for the biggest star of WWE, face of the company stuff, who was the biggest, most popular guy? It's very tough to say, but I'm going to narrow it down to 2 people. I'm going to eliminate The Rock, and I'm going to eliminate Hulk Hogan. So now we're looking at John Cena or Stone Cold Steve Austin. And truth be told, this is like looking at Jordan or LeBron. Jordan dominated the 90s. Stone Cold dominated the 90s. John Cena and LeBron have been doing this since the early 2000s and been doing it for 20 years. And they are still great at it. Right? So it's really Jordan versus LeBron here. But I'm going to have to give the edge to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, I will talk about why this could be reverted in a little bit. But for right now, I'm giving the edge to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, we're going on to our next topic, which is not the biggest star. We got to have another category, right? We can't just throw the 4 biggest stars on there and say, oh, that's my Mount Rushmore. Now I have the most important person in WWE history, right? So this right here comes down to several people in my opinion. But I'm going to cut it down to 3 people. I said, who's the most important person in WWE history? I think we all have to agree, whether you want to or don't. It is Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Now, some people might say it is Vincent J. McMahon. That'd be Vincent Kennedy McMahon's father, right? That'd be fair since he founded it. But I think Vincent Kennedy McMahon got the company and took it to a heights never seen before, right? Now, this is why I talked about Stone Cold and John Cena. I left it at 2 people there. I said I narrowed this down to 3. So you got the founder, Vincent Kennedy McMahon's dad. You got Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the son that everybody knows. And then we got Triple H would be my 3rd option here. So Triple H did great in the ring, right? We know Triple H's prestigious history in the ring. The King of Kings, the Cerebral Assassin. He was awesome in the ring. One of my favorites growing up. I loved the game. But the game didn't just do the stuff in the ring. What he's doing now as a creative figure, right? Managing, booking, all that stuff after his post-ring stuff is just as good as his in-ring stuff. And R.I.P. Kobe Bryant, but if Kobe didn't get his stuff cut short, his life cut short, then, Kobe could have had a post-career just as great as his in-ring career, if not even greater. And that's what Triple H kind of is having right now, which is truly remarkable. Where, because Triple H had a tremendous in-ring career, but his post-ring career might even be greater than that. So Triple H should be my other option. So if you guys want to have the statue built after people that are idols, right, or like great people, moral standing, and you value what they did inside and outside the ring, morally, then I would say John Cena and Triple H should be the people that should be built. So John Cena for the biggest star, Triple H for the most important figure. If you guys are doing it, none of that in mind, just wrestling, wrestling, right? Keeping wrestling, wrestling, separating the art from the artist, as they say. Then I would say Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Right, those would be my two picks for both of those categories. So just so you guys know, you guys want to do a separate list, whatever the case may be. But those are the two Mount Rushmore categories I got right there. Now we can go on to category number 3. So category number 3 isn't the biggest star. It's not the most important figure, right? You're doing a Mount Rushmore of wrestling. Who is the best wrestler? Period. Who is the best in-ring performer there is? From bell to bell, when that bell rings, who is that person in that square circle, they say, that's going to put on the greatest show out there? 5-star match, night in, night out. And I think this is actually one of the toughest categories here because there's so many people to talk about. So let's go ahead and talk about them. So we got AJ Styles. But the problem with AJ Styles, right, I think I had to mention him. You know the phenomenal AJ Styles. You don't think WWE AJ Styles. You might think New Japan, but me personally, I think TNA Impact Wrestling. That AJ Styles was phenomenal. But this right now is a WWE Mount Rushmore. So AJ Styles can't be in there. We can look at somebody like Cody Rhodes. Oh my goodness. I've been reviewing all WWE PLEs, right? Cody championships, all his matches and all that. This man has been put on amazing match after amazing match. A lot of people like to hate on Cody's reign and stuff because it's following the legendary Roman Reigns title reign. But Cody's title reign, match-wise, top notch. I prefer him match-wise compared to Roman Reigns. Give me Cody Rhodes. But I think it's too soon, right? And I personally wouldn't even make that argument that Cody's the best wrestler ever. But I will not kid you. If somebody did, I might say, But 2020, whatever Cody Rhodes has been an amazing storyteller. 2020 plus. Now we go over to another wrestler, Bret the Hitman Hart. The excellence of execution. Textbook. I personally need to go watch more Bret Hart matches. Cause I haven't seen too many. And I'm like, Bret Hart, not really my style of wrestling. But you do see the excellent execution, like I said, where the suplexes hit flush every time, the arm drags and all that, but still, like I said, not my style of wrestling. But the way he locked in the sharpshooter, top notch, you could tell, oh, that joint actually hurts. He's trying to win the match here, right? Some people lock in the submissions, and it's like, you tapped to that, really? But that sharpshooter, that looked painful. I will applaud him for that. You got other wrestlers here. I want to talk about the late, great Eddie Guerrero. One of my favorites growing up. I was young when he passed away, but it still hurt me. I'm not sure if I cried or not. But man, he is definitely one of my favorite, not my favorite wrestler when I was super young. I still remember his frog splash off the top of the steel cage on the JBL. Oh my goodness, I want him to win that match so bad. But got to talk about Eddie Guerrero there. Another guy I want to talk about, Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist, the guy that won it with a broken freaking neck. Are you kidding me? Yes, that guy. Oh my goodness, as a kid, I loved Eddie, like I said, but Kurt never really cared about. I go back and I watch Kurt Angle matches. I'm like, this man was a freak athlete. This guy was a complete package. He had the size, he had the power, he had the speed. When you combine all that, you get that explosive agility that can make anybody look dominant, and that's what Kurt Angle had, man. And then I love how he had two legit finishers, the Angle Slam and the Ankle Lock. Those two right there, two finishers. He could hit the Angle Slam on anybody, big guys. It looks impressive. It makes you pop every time. But when he got that ankle lock, he could just transition from anywhere and get that ankle lock on you. Oh my goodness. And everybody tapped to it. Everybody. And that's back when WWE people were okay to tap. Nowadays, they don't tap as much. But back then, oh my goodness. You can sit on the edge of the seat. Are they going to tap? Are they finna get to the bottom of the rope? Are they finna reverse it? What's going on? Oh, the suspense he built every time. Kurt Angle, one of the best to ever do it. But another guy that's just as good as Kurt Angle, kind of underrated in the form of wrestling when you talk about best in the ring. Might have to talk about Randy Orton. The finisher, just the RKO in general. It's a fire name for a finisher. It's his initials and stuff. And then the KO, knockout, whatever. Randy's knockout, Randall Keith Orton, you could say the full name, whatever the case may be. But oh my goodness, he could hit the RKO from anywhere, from everywhere, to anyone, to everyone. The RKO, one of the best finishers there. He's been doing it for so long and great in the ring, even without the RKO being hit. So, all that stuff aside, though, there's one person who I always thought was the GOAT, and I still think he's the GOAT, and it's the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. The showstopper. I gotta go Shawn Michaels here. And unlike the others, like I mentioned before, Vince and Stone Cold, Shawn, to my knowledge, doesn't have nearly as bad as baggage as those two, right? So, I mean, Shawn, of course, got some baggage, right? Shawn's a little controversial, right? I can't, if I say it wasn't controversial, he might just super kick me. I might get hit with the sweet chin music, right? Don't pass the ox. I don't want that to happen. So, I'm going to say Shawn is controversial, but not controversial enough as the other two, where I think he could go on this list and most people would be like, okay, that's fair. And deservingly so. Shawn Michaels, even Bret Hart, somebody that didn't really like Shawn that much, you gotta respect Shawn Michaels in the ring, without a doubt. Favorite Shawn Michaels match might not have been him wrestling, but let me think. Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle, I thought was fire at Mania. I also like Shawn Michaels versus John Cena. We actually bought that WrestleMania. That's one of those. That might have been the first WrestleMania my family ever bought and watched. So that main event, I think it's the main event, Shawn versus John. But then Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, a lot of people bring up a lot. But my favorite Shawn Michaels match might not even been him being the wrestler. I just love Shawn as a special guest referee for his Triple H versus Undertaker Hell in a Cell. Oh my goodness, I love that match. But there's so many great Shawn Michaels matches. Let me know your guys' who do you guys think the best wrestler is and your not favorite, but their best match, right? Or even their favorite match. I might have to go check it out myself to go see. But there's so many great WWE matches. No, another slept on one is Melina versus Alicia Fox. Do you guys know about that one? Alright, but without further ado, let's go ahead and go to our last category. We got 3 faces now. Let's go with face number 4. And that is the best voice. Who is the voice of WWE? The best talker in WWE history. Now, this is a tough one as well. Because there's so many great talkers. And one thing I will say is we can't do the Drake line like I said on Survival. My Mount Rushmore is me making 4 different expressions. So please, if you guys are following along and thinking like, who is the best talker, anything like that. If you said Stone Cold or John Cena for Biggest Star, do not put him here again, right? We can't have 2 John Cenas up here, right? If you had 2 John Cenas up here, you only had 2 statues. You had 2 faceless people up there and then 2 regular people that you actually could see. But, one person per category, if possible, in best voice, though, right? I said John Cena, Stone Cold, oh my goodness. Go back and look at their promos now. They are all so fire. Stone Cold, there's a Stone Cold one where he says, he's talking, it's not really even a promo. It's like, he's filling in from Vince McMahon. He's like, dang, what time is it? It's 10 o'clock in the morning? Where I come from, we don't drink coffee at 10 o'clock in the morning. I have a nice cold beer. Another lady asked him, would you like anything to eat, sir? He says, well, now that I think of it, my stomach's a little growling. I have another cold beer. This man was a certified alcoholic through and through. But even while him just talking on a mic, the way he walked down to the ring and he just bad-mouthing everybody in the ring and just talking reckless, I'm like, oh my goodness, I just love Stone Cold so much. As soon as the music hit, you just know all hell was finna break loose. If you go look at John Cena on the other hand, he'd grab his hat, tip the cap down, say fine speech, and just go ahead and end your career in the blink of an eye. John Cena, man, so many great promos. John Cena also has some bad ones, though. Maybe not bad promos, but some bad lines, I will say. You gotta look at The Rock, though. The Rock, and It's crazy how I look at The Rock now. I still love The Rock on the mic. Don't get me wrong. All these people, these are all nitpicks if I criticize any of them. All 5 stars on the mic. Without a doubt, some of the best to ever do it. But The Rock, his catchphrases, love his catchphrases. Whoop your candy ass, jabroni. Open up a can of whoop ass. Shine that bad boy up, turn it sideways, stick it straight up your candy ass, and Rock just going crazy and stuff. So many great one-liners. It doesn't matter what you think is always my favorite from him because it's so hilarious. And I love it when people actually hit him with it, and then he gets a little chuckle. Rock be trying not to break character, but I mean, it's just so many great funny moments with The Rock where it's tough for him not to break character or anybody he's in there with. I still love The Rock. The Rock now, though, I still think is great on the mic when he wants to be. I feel like sometimes he goes out there, doesn't have a plan or anything, he might be just winging it. And I think this was apparent on NXT. He did like an NXT promo. First time The Rock was ever on NXT. He's out there talking for like 6 minutes or something. He opens up the promo. I really didn't think of anything to say. Then after 6 minutes ends and the promo's over, I say, this man really just yapped about nothing. But that's a different story. But The Rock on the mic, he's awesome. Another guy I want to talk about on the mic, CM Punk. The voice of the voiceless. If you guys want to put CM Punk on here for this category, I want to argue with you. Because CM Punk, to me, is so great at making you think, is this man shooting or is this a work, right? Does the other people know? Are these things he's going to say? Or is he just out there just roasting everybody off the cuff? Like, is he off the loose, off the chain, off the leash, whatever you want to call it? I don't know. He does such a great job at blurring reality and fiction. So that is CM Punk. But there's somebody else I want to talk about. And that is the person I think is the best on the mic. And doesn't get talked about enough. I have not seen him on any Mount Rushmore ever. I've seen a lot of people do Mount Rushmores, like I said before, and they all got the same faces up there. But I have not seen this person on a Mount Rushmore. So once I say this name, you guys will all say, yep, deservingly so. That person deserves to be on it. And it's none of the guys I listed already. It's not even a wrestler. It is good old JR, aka Jim Ross. The best voice of WWE, the commentator. You guys ever had the pleasure of watching a match that Jim Ross called? Consider yourself lucky. Because, oh my goodness, this dude was awesome. Prime Jim Ross. Some people might be AEW fans, and you might know about Jim Ross being over there, or you might be young and you didn't know about WWE Jim Ross back in the 90s. 90s, early 2000s, that Jim Ross, oh my goodness. Triple H, you son of a bee. Do you have no conscience? Do you have no soul? You son of a bee. You will burn in hell for what you did. This man here was so passionate and so emotional. You just had to feel it. Like, wow. He's so unlike any other commentator. And I like Michael Cole, but Michael Cole does not compare, doesn't hold a candle to Jim Ross. And I'm not trying to, disrespect Michael Cole. I think he's B tier. And B tier for a lot of people just means mid. To me, that means great. But A tier is amazing, and S tier is legendary. And Jim Ross is absolutely legendary. Now, there might have been another guy I forgot to talk about real quick as an honorable mention, so I'll go ahead and bring it up now. Paul Heyman, the wise man, the special counsel, the advocate. He's also up there. I forgot about to talk about Paul Heyman. He's awesome on the mic as well. But Jim Ross, to me, man, without a doubt, the best voice in WWE. So, now that you guys know the 4 categories, let me know your guys' 4 wrestlers not 4 wrestlers, 4 people in the comments, right? Because half of mine aren't wrestlers. Vince and Jim Ross are not wrestlers. So, you use the 4 categories: biggest star, most important figure, best wrestler, and best voice. Let me know who your guys' top 4 is, who you're putting on the Mount Rushmore for those categories. And let me know if you guys like that idea. Cause I thought what we need to do is, whenever we do the Mount Rushmore, you got to represent everybody, right? So there's different wrestlers, right? There's some people that are stars. There's some people that are talented. There's some people that are great on the mic. Some people that are overlooked, but, they're super important, though, right? So, I tried to make it so everybody could get in a category, all the greats could get discussed. Now, there's some people I didn't talk about that are great, Like Rey Mysterio, somebody didn't talk about, and he's been doing it just as long as Randy Orton, right? I talked about Randy Orton's longevity. Rey Mysterio is right there. The Undertaker, his longevity, that's just as good as Randy Orton, John Cena, all them guys, right? The Undertaker is somebody for these categories. Maybe you could put him in the most important figure. I'm not sure exactly, but I didn't know where to even talk about him in these categories. So maybe there's a category where the Undertaker could get mentioned. I'm not trying to rig the category so that the Undertaker wins or anything, but you know what I'm trying to say? Where I didn't really know how to mention the Undertaker in any of these categories. But that's one of them. Andre the Giant, I saw the Undertaker's Mount Rushmore. Yeah, Andre the Giant up there. And Andre the Giant, he talked about the importance of him, how his presence in WrestleMania 3 was able to catapult WWE into superstardom, right? Make it global. Because Hulk Hogan slamming him, right? Andre the Giant was a huge global icon. And then you got Hulk Hogan, the WWE Biggest Star at the time, able to scoop slam and hit the leg drop on Andre the Giant, who Andre the Giant was going through a lot of injuries and illnesses of his own, right? So Andre the Giant being selfless, coming back and taking that bump, right? Huge for the company. And no, all these people, man. So many important figures in this business. So many great people in this business. Let me know your guys' Mount Rushmore. I'm really curious. This was a video I took a lot of time to make. I got a 20-minute, no, excuse me. I got a 20-man Royal Rumble in the background. All like people I thought about I could be talking in this video and stuff. No, 20 of the most important people. I didn't even talk about Mick Foley. He's not even in the match. He's like number 21. I had to take somebody in or out. Or maybe I took out Bruno Sammartino. That's somebody else I didn't talk about. But Mick Foley, oh my goodness. Thankfully, this man's still alive. Because some of the bumps he took, wow. But if we were going to do like a special match type thing, right? Hardcore matches, Mick Foley got to be number one. Because, oh my goodness, Mick Foley risked life and limb to entertain us, man. So, thankfully, he's still living. Thankfully, he's decently okay. At least as okay as he can be for somebody that took all the bumps he did. But if you like the video, be sure to like the video. I'm going to yap a little bit longer because I just want to yap to the end of the video here. But if you guys would like to see me do a women's version of this, a women's Mount Rushmore, let me know. I probably had to go research a lot of that because I really don't know too much about women in WWE. And then we do most important figure. Maybe I do Stephanie McMahon for that. I'm not sure exactly. I had to go research and see all that they did. That might be a tedious task, but if you guys are interested in a women's Mount Rushmore, let me know. The reason I didn't put any women on this Mount Rushmore isn't because that I exclusively made it for men. I just don't think any women was on the top of this list, right? But there's definitely talented women, without a doubt, in WWE from top to bottom. But, you know, most important figure I think is a man. Biggest star I think is a man. Best voice I think is a man. And best wrestler I just happen to think is a man, right? So Trish would probably be somebody I definitely try to think of, but I mean it'd be the same four categories. But you guys want to see the female version of this, let me know in the comment section down below. It won't be as long, I guarantee you that. It'll probably be like 10 minutes or so. I do a 10-woman Royal Rumble for that one. But this video is about to go ahead and come to an end. As I'm going to commentate at the last minute like Jim Ross says, oh, he's the elbow, and that right hand dropped him. It sent him flying. The tooth of Shawn Michaels has just flown out. Now Andre the Giant has Michaels on the ropes, but Michaels fights back, and Michaels drops him the clothesline. Michaels, he scales the top rope and delivers the elbow to the heart. Andre the Giant, oh, no, he's tuning up the band, and the crowd goes wild. Shawn Michaels, can he do it? The boy who dreamed, he does it. And he solidifies himself as the best wrestler of all time. The Heartbreak Kid, the showstopper, Mr. WrestleMania himself on the grandest stage of them all. Shawn Michaels, the boy who dreamed, is the GOAT. Hope you guys enjoyed that Jim Ross impersonation. But as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see you guys on the next one.